Welcome back. Well, the Trump grand jury has been put on pause. That happened yesterday. Reports claiming that they won't reconvene until Monday of next week. The New York Post editorial board writes this: fumbling his Trump case, Alvin Bragg exposes his incompetence nationwide. Joining me right now is Lawfare Project Senior Counsel Gerard Filitti. Gerard, it's great to see you. Thanks very much for being here. Talk to us about this. We want to get your take on what's going on here. Is this all about politics?
It's all about politics. The problem here is that you're looking at a grand jury that was convened on the basis of a claim for someone who is essentially a convicted felon who has a history of lying. This is the basis on which the DA is looking to pursue charges for something that is outside the statute of limitations. It's all politics. This is not something that has merit, but it's rather an attempt to distract.
Unbelievable. Now Alvin Bragg is attacking House Republicans, Tiana. He's claiming that they're interfering with his investigation. Bragg is also saying that former President Trump created a false expectation that he would be arrested.
I mean, if he can't handle the heat, he needs to get out of the kitchen, right? This report came out last weekend, and now we're talking about the grand jury reconvening next Monday. My question is this. The crime here is not the payment itself, this alleged hush money payment to Stormy Daniels. The crime would be the intent, right? If he was, my understanding, going back to the John Edwards case, is that John Edwards was able to get off in part because he paid his mistress, Hunter, to hide it from his wife, not to win the election. Couldn't Trump easily invoke that same defense? And that's if they can even prove that he knew about this payment?
Well, that's entirely correct. The issue here is Trump, all he has to come in and say is that he was paying to save his marriage, that he did not want to cause embarrassment to his family, that there was no intent to do anything about the election. And quite frankly, looking at some of the other things Trump has been involved with, it's credible that he was not looking to maliciously break the law, but rather was looking to save his marriage and save his family.
Kim Strassel in the Journal this morning writes, the scandal is that Mr. Bragg looks set not only to splash in, but to do so with the most pathetic of legal arguments. This isn't a case about classified documents or the transfer of power. If reports are accurate, Mr. Bragg wants to jail a former president over the heading on a long ago business payment. The feebleness of the charge deserves scrutiny.
You know, what's disgusting to me is that I have a client, Matt Greenman, who was physically attacked in a hate crime in New York City. Alvin Bragg did not do anything. It took the DOJ to get involved and press charges and get a conviction. But we do have Alvin Bragg going after the former president on what is essentially trumped-up charges that have no merit.
I don't think you could even look at this without recognizing the two tiers of justice. The fact that right now we are looking at evidence in plain sight of influence peddling on the Biden laptop, and that the FBI has been sitting on that laptop since 2019, and Hunter Biden's walking around despite taking all this money from America's adversaries. Constitutional law attorney Jonathan Turley writes this opinion piece for FoxNews.com. The title, National Archives Just Torpedoed Joe Biden's I Know Nothing defense. He points to new emails released from the archives that show in 2015, then Vice President Joe Biden approved a statement, Hunter's board position for a Ukrainian energy company. Gerard, the evidence keeps coming out one by one on top of bank records that we saw last week, exposing the fact that they got a $3 million check from China and then started dispersing it to the Biden family members. And, you know, no comments from the DOJ or Alvin Bragg on this one.
No comments when you have potential violations of the Foreign Agents Registration Act, the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act. You have allegations of bribery, influence peddling, and everything benefiting the Biden family. But there's silence. There's no investigation. The DOJ has not appointed a special counsel, which it probably should at this point. Instead, we have local prosecutors like Alvin Bragg using political charges to go after Trump and distract from what is real news.
So hear me out on this, Chris. Yep. I think one of the reasons this keeps happening is because there's no accountability whatsoever. And there's also this fact that Americans do not trust government anymore. You know, that's why there were so many questions about the 2020 election. Yeah. Yes. That's why there are so many questions about the FBI, because there's never any accountability about this stuff. Russia collusion hoax, Biden laptop, impeachment of Trump for no crime, origins of COVID-19.
Yeah. But with Alvin Bragg, I'm not here to defend him by any stretch of the imagination, but I don't think that he acted on his own. There's no way. You're a Manhattan district attorney. You're a politician. You want to climb the ladder. In the same way Eliot Spitzer wanted to climb the ladder, and he did it little by little. So somebody made a phone call and told him, you better, put this distraction into play for everybody.
Is this coming from Biden, you think? What do you think, Gerard?
I think this is coming maybe from George Soros, maybe from other malign actors who want to help the Biden administration. This is not coming from someone who actually likes to enforce the law and knows what the law is.
All right, we will leave it there. Great to get your insight this morning, Gerard. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on, Gerard Filitti.